Perfect. Thank you everyone for watching our fourth interview for my follicle journey. Thank you so much, Khai, for doing this and joining me here today in order to answer some of the questions, in order to help some of our audience to understand better the program and the products we advertise. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
Perfect. So I want you to start with the first questions. I will put you a set of questions where you just reply to them. What age are you at the moment?
I'm 33.
And around what age have you noticed the first hair loss problems you started to encounter?
I started losing hair on my scalp probably when I was 28. It started with just a small patch, slowly started growing and growing. The receding hairline started a bit later. That was a little bit more aggressive. So I'd say everything kind of kicked off when I was around 28.
28. And what is the pattern of hair loss that you have? It's first in the crown and after that in the receding line, as you mentioned, right?
Yeah, a little bit. So I mean, the crown was a lot more noticeable than the recede. So I did start losing a little bit here early doors, but it wasn't that noticeable. The crown was where it was more noticeable quickly. And the recede started getting worse as soon as the crown started getting worse.
And what kind of hair loss pattern does your father or grandfather has? Like usually we take the genes from the father or grandfather, and what type of who's balding in your family?
So my dad is bald. My granddad on my dad's side was bald. The majority of people on my mother's side still have hair.
Okay, great. And when you first noticed, when you were 28, as you mentioned, when you first noticed that you start to lose hair over your crown, what were your first reactions and what actions have you started to take?
So I didn't take any actions initially. I just kind of wanted to see what would happen a little bit. After about a year, I started using over here it's called Regain. So Regain, or I'm not too sure what it's called abroad, but over here it's called Regain. So then I started using Regain, but ultimately it was just it starts becoming a little bit laborious if you're out and you forget to do it one day or whatever. It was hard to get that into a routine. So because your hair had to be completely dry and all this type of stuff, and all the time it wasn't really that. It was quite hard to do all the time.
Okay.
So
And have you been to a doctor or dermatologist with a hair loss problem in order for him to give you any kind of advices?
no, I didn't really do that. Mainly because if I'm being brutally honest, over here I don't really in the UK because people sometimes, with doctor's appointments and stuff like that, I don't really want to take up time for people. Someone might have a genuine concern. I felt mine was more cosmetic, so I didn't really feel like it was appropriate for me to go to
Okay.
the doctors.
Okay, understand. So besides the regain that you take, what other products have you been taking for hair loss, or what information have you read or studied online?
So obviously read about minoxidil. I started taking a lot of vitamins, mainly things like zinc, magnesium, that type of stuff. Biotin a little bit. Although, if I'm honest, I kept forgetting to buy biotin, but I felt minoxidil would hopefully kind of cover it. I did start taking finasteride. I bought that online, the same place that I bought my Regain from. I stopped that after a certain amount of time just because I didn't really like the side effects too much. So bar that, that's kind of all I've
Okay.
done.
Okay. And what problem? So Regain, as far as I study, they have minoxidil in it.
Hmm.
And what made you not continue with the product besides the fact that you have to constantly apply it? Did you have any skin-related side effects, any issues with your scalp or application and all that?
No, nothing to do with that. If I'm honest, the cost of it was quite high. And it was gradually going up over time as well. I'd had noticed. So if you bought 3 or 4 months worth, it was, costing nearly £120, something like that, or maybe less. So probably about £80 to £100, something along those type of lines. So it started getting a little bit costly. And if I'm honest, at that time as well, when I was doing it, my son was born. So I'd constantly forget to take it or do it. So it just kind of slipped. So it wasn't really routine after that anymore, because after having a child, your routine kind of goes out the window.
Okay. So yeah, that's true. Once you have a kid, especially when he's newborn, all of your routines are not
Yeah,
so important anymore. Yeah.
no.
When it comes to our program, when you started, what convinced you to start My Follicle Journey? Because we reach out over WhatsApp, and over there we started to connect.
Yeah, so I was actually given your Instagram by someone else who I know, who just told me to look into you guys. So essentially, with looking through your videos and generally looking through your Instagram, I thought it was worth a shot. With you saying, what I didn't really feel that minoxidil on its own was working for me. I thought that I was still losing hair. Um, what I felt was that when you were talking about a new recipe and trying different things, and I thought that it would be worth a shot to try something else just to see. Um, Granted, it's still got minoxidil in it, but because of the way that you've got more stuff in it than just minoxidil, I thought I'd try. And as soon as I reached out to you guys, obviously you gave me one-on-one, like talking one-on-one straight away, and I felt catered for.
Thank you for that. At the beginning, because we have a lot of customers that we send them the lotions, we send them the massager, the derma roller, and basically we build this, as you mentioned, this entire program that you have to follow in order to enhance minoxidil effects over your scalp. Were you optimistic when you saw the derma rolling and all those extra products?
Yeah, so 100%. So I'd never really thought about using a scalp massager, for example, or a derma roller. I'd heard about it, but I didn't really know that it was going to do anything. I thought it was just added stuff that you didn't really need. But obviously, after speaking to you guys, and you saying, right, you have to do this many times a week, this many times a week, and make sure you do X, Y, and Z. That was more information than I've ever really had before. And you telling me that, look, it will really enhance the lotion and stuff like that going onto your head. You'll get the benefits from it more. Yeah, it was good.
When you first contact us and you receive the products, we send you some courses. Those courses' main objective is to inform you and create a base education around the hair loss industry, so you understand how everything works. What are your thoughts about the course, and what's your thoughts there?
It's definitely informative. I think it was good to kind of go through and things a little bit more in depth than just the surface level things that you can find on the internet. I think it was good to learn about everything in depth. And I had the products already, but I didn't want to start the products until I'd gone through the course. So yeah, it was, and the good thing is that all the videos were relatively short as well, so you can kind of get through it quite quickly, and you can really learn about what is going to happen or what you can expect to happen, and and you were honest as well through it that some of these type of things might not work for everyone, but it will definitely help. So I think that's useful.
So all the information in the course, you can find it on YouTube. But the thing that I've done with the course is that I structured in a way that in between 90 to 120 minutes, around 2 hours, you finish the whole course and everything is well arranged there. It's easy to understand with a lot of quizzes for you to understand the basics of hair loss. And what we say to our customer, when you order, we're going to send you the course. You watch the course until you receive the products. And after that, into the WhatsApp group and in the calendar, you have to just follow it through.
Yeah.
When it comes to our lotion with the folic seal, have you noticed any difference, or what are the thoughts with the lotion compared with the one that you used prior with this? And how is your scalp feeling when you apply it?
So I was using a foam before. It's quite hard sometimes with the foam to really. It's hard to figure out how much you need to actually apply on your head, and in how do you apply a cap full just on the crown and then also on each side of your temples, or do you apply? It was quite difficult. I think what's quite good with your product is that it's all in a pipette, and within that pipette, that amount is going on your head, so you don't have to kind of guess how much is going on. Took me a little bit of time to get used to putting it on my head. I think I spoke to you directly, like, what's the best way of applying it? Just because obviously I'm used to a foam, so it will just stay there. This is more liquid. This is a liquid. So just quickly getting in your hands, rubbing it, and then getting it straight in. But once I kind of got that nailed, and then as soon as I then get the scalp massager in, it absorbs really well. Didn't really feel my hair was greasy or anything. So, I mean, granted, my hair's short, but didn't feel greasy.
So we have a foam version where it acts with a pump, and when you have 4 complete pumps, that's 1 milliliter. So that's how we have our foam. If you do 4 pumps, that's 1 milliliter, and 1 pump is 0.25.
Got it.
Yeah. So for derma rolling, as you mentioned, you heard about it, but you didn't thought about it. When you first receive it and you use it, what were your thoughts about rolling something with the needles over your scalp?
It hurt a little bit at first, getting used to it, but now that I've done it, it's fine now. I think once you do something over time, it just becomes like normal, doesn't it? So, and it makes sense. If you put little holes in there, in theory, it should help, create new follicles. That's kind of the thought. So
the overall idea with the derma rolling is that it's going to penetrate your scalp, touch the bulge area, and is going to increase the stem cell and the collagen production of the scalp. And the natural body response when it gets harmed is to activate the healing properties. And through that, the hair follicle is going to get nourished and developed. As well is going to help with minoxidil receiving over the scalp in higher and better quantities and percentage wise. With the scalp massages, so we had a lot of customers that said, I've saw my wife for so many years doing scalp massages with oils, but I never thought about me doing a scalp massage. So when we advised to do the scalp massage and with the scalp massager, what were your thoughts there? With have you done it with hand and massager as well, right?
Yeah, well, I did it just with the massager, just because I found it was really, with my hands, I don't feel like I'm doing that good, but with the massager, I feel like I'm really, it's actually doing something. I didn't really have any feelings towards it, if I'm being brutally honest. Like, I think I'm open to trying anything, so it didn't really bother me too much about having to sit there and, I just stick something on YouTube, just sit there, just do it. And I find it quite nice, de-stresses. So I didn't mind it.
Yeah, as well. I'm using it. I've done it with my hands for a long time, and when I discovered it, the thing that we've added to our massager is that we made those teeth a bit stronger compared with the rest, because the vast majority of people using it are for hair loss, and those massagers initially have been for scalp wash when you wash your scalp in the shower, and not for massage. So as an overall, are you satisfied with the results that you achieve in 12 weeks? Keep in mind that for 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, you're still going to have massive improvements. But for these 12 weeks, when it comes to the hair density, how your hair feels, how it looks when you checked.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it's been a short amount of time. I've noticed, baby hair starting to grow, because one of the places that I was kind of worried about was the center bit of my scalp. And, I've noticed baby hairs coming through, or it feels a little bit denser. Even around the crown, like the temples a little bit, you know, you can see the baby hairs. It doesn't seem as obvious that I've lost hair. Yeah, at the moment, it just feels like I've got cut hair, and this is after a short amount of time. So I think if I carry on with it, stick to it, I'm excited to see what will happen in 6 months, 8 months, a year.
Yeah, so one thing that I really want all of our customers to join the one-on-one WhatsApp group is, as you saw, is because if the first 12 weeks is really more about the fact that we ask you, send us photos, how the program goes. So you remind yourself that, hey, I need to use these products. Because after the first 6 weeks is going to be the hardest for you to get accustomed to the routine. After the first 6 weeks are gone, you're going to be more inclined in using these products every single day. And that's going to keep the results. So the 12 weeks is more to get you enrolled and get you accustomed to using the products to get the results for the long time.
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. So would you have any final thoughts about and final advice for someone that's watching this video and he might consider starting our program and starting working with us to regain their hair?
I think this is a case of just try it, see how you feel, and yeah, just take it from there. Just give it a go.
Perfect. And as well, I want to add as a last note, if anyone is ordering our products or programs and he's not satisfied with the results like you are, he can just let us know, hey, I don't like the results, and we will fully refund their order. That's how much we trust in the program that we've built. Thank you so much for doing this interview. I truly appreciate it. And we speak over the WhatsApp chat. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you, mate.
Thanks. 1 second. Let me stop this.